Have you ever heard of a nursing home putting two briefs on an incontinent resident, one on top of the other? Well, that is exactly what surveyors described in their annual report of Blue Circle Rehab and Nursing dated December 11, 2024. My name is David Terry. I'm a nursing home abuse and neglect attorney here in Missouri and Illinois. And today we're continuing our series of looking into annual surveys of Missouri and Illinois nursing homes. And today we're taking a look at Blue Circle Rehab and Nursing right here in St. Louis. Every nursing home in the country that accepts Medicare and Medicaid is subject to government inspections, and those inspections are public record. And the report I'm reading from today is 63 pages long and was completed on December 11, 2024 by state and federal surveyors. I'm not going to offer any legal opinions about this facility. I'm just going to tell you what the government found, and I'm going to let you decide what to make of it. Now, keep in mind, I'm filming this in April of 2026, and this survey, about a year and a half old, is the most recent annual survey that we have available to us. Now, let's get into what this survey found, and we'll start with resident 21, which is what the survey calls her. This resident has aphasia, which means she can't speak. She's had a stroke. She has cognitive impairment. She has diabetes, anxiety, and depression. She is completely dependent on staff for every aspect of her personal care. She can't dress herself, can't bathe herself, or even reposition herself in bed without help. And on December 9th at 9:27 in the morning, her call light came on. The certified medication tech checked on her and then came out and told the nurse manager that the resident wanted a nurse. 8 minutes later at 9:35, the LPN entered the room and the resident pointed to her groin area. The LPN pulled back her brief, but she had to unfasten two briefs, one on top of the other, both completely saturated with urine. The LPN's words documented in the survey, "The resident is really wet and that is why she hurts." Now, the LPN didn't know who had put the two briefs on the resident. I don't know that they ever figured that out. She said she was not sure when the CNA had last done rounds. So the LPN exited the room and asked two CNAs to go provide care. And at 9:55, those two CNAs arrived and they provided care to this resident. But surveyors observed that they cleaned only one side of the resident's buttock area and left the other side, which had been in direct contact with the soiled briefs, uncleaned. The director of nursing was asked about this, and she said, and I'm reading directly from the survey here, quote, "It is never okay to double brief a resident because of the skin issues it can cause. Residents should be checked at least every 2 hours unless otherwise specified," end quote. Surveyors also noticed problems with the facility call light system. Now, Blue Circle's own records suggested apparently 3 weeks before the survey, documented that there were 24 resident rooms that had malfunctioning call lights. The system had not been repaired at the time of the survey. The surveyors documented specific problems during the survey week. One resident's call light, when it was activated, showed up at the nurse's station as a completely different room number, and the light above her actual door didn't illuminate at all. The staff at the nurse's station were watching the panel and calling it a ghost light, a phantom light, and they were just walking away. Another resident's call light was similarly broken. When she pushed it, it registered as someone else's room at the nurse's station. Her room's call light never turned on. Staff had given her a handbell to ring instead. Now, the maintenance director confirmed that he was aware of the call light issues and that the company had been out to assess the problem and the facility was just simply waiting on proposals to fix it. Now, the issue with the call lights and the double briefs were the most documented findings in this facility, but they weren't the only ones. Let me give you a brief summary of what else government inspectors cited. There was a citation for violating FTAG 677, which is a violation of personal care failures for 5 particular residents. One resident had a suprapubic catheter, which is a tube inserted directly into the bladder, and it had bloody discharge at the catheter site with a strong odor, and this was observed over multiple days. Another resident had very long nails with dried brown substance underneath, and this was observed repeatedly. Another resident was eating lunch with her hands while her nails contained some kind of dark matter underneath it. And one resident had body odor and chin hair that she had asked to have removed. There was also a violation of FTAG 759 that was recorded by the surveyors, and this is where the facility had a medication error rate of 14.28%. which violated the Missouri requirement that the facility ensure a medication error rate of less than 5%. Surveyors also cited the facility for violating FTAG 584, which is a living environment failure. Here they documented a resident with dementia lay in a bed with only a stained fitted sheet, no top sheet, and there was a strong urine odor. Her soiled bedding was bagged up and then left on her bare mattress for over an hour, with a feces odor smellable from the hallway. Multiple staff members apparently had walked in and out of the room during that time and did not remove that bag. One cognitively intact resident told surveyors that the smell in her room was horrible, and she said she had given up on asking staff to help with the smell. She was using her oxygen to try to mask the smell. Surveyors documented a violation of FTAG 695, where a resident prescribed on oxygen therapy was observed across multiple days receiving oxygen at incorrect flow rates, at one point receiving 5 liters when the order specified 2 liters. Now, these are the government's own findings. Every citation I have described came from state inspectors who walked the halls of this facility over multiple days in December 2024. Now, if you have a loved one at Blue Circle, Rehab, and Nursing, or you're considering placing someone here, I would encourage you to read this report for yourself. It's a public document, and you can find it at medicare.gov/nursinghomecompare. All you have to do is search the facility or search it by facility name and look under the inspections tab. The link is in the description below, by the way. So in this video, we're talking about Blue Circle, but this really applies to any facility. If you have a loved one or you're considering a facility for a loved one, you should look at these reports no matter what facility it is. So Blue Circle Rehab and Nursing appears on my list of the lowest rated nursing homes in the St. Louis area. You can find that list on my website at nursinghomejustice.com. Again, I'll put a link in the description so you can see the full list and compare facilities. Every report that I'm doing in this series comes directly from public government records. And this information exists to protect family members, but it only protects them if they know where to find it and what to look for. Now, if you want to learn how to pull these reports yourself for any nursing home in Missouri or Illinois, or really anywhere in the country, go watch my video on how to find and read a government nursing home inspection report. I will show you exactly where to look and what matters. And if you're in Missouri or Illinois and you want me to cover a specific facility, just let me know that in the comments. I'll try to get to that. And finally, if you believe that you have a loved one who's been harmed at a nursing home in Missouri or Illinois or is at risk right now, you can reach our office at 314-878-9797. I'll be happy to talk with you. So we're going to keep doing videos on these facilities. So keep watching, and I'll see you there.